Hi there, welcome to GearGossip. As the Stones already pointed out, you can't always get what you want, but sometimes you will get what you need. Yeah, but finding out what you want and what you need and what you don't want and don't need can consume a big deal of your life, especially when you're a guitarist on GearQuest. Well, my GearQuest is over for years now. As an opener for this video, here's the results of my quest. I need a good clean amp, lots of reverb, and everything else should be done with pedals. Everything else includes compressor, drive, more drive, anything that wobbles the signal around, phaser, chorus. Nothing specific here because my audience actually never cared for type or price of the pedal. Essential part is also a tap delay. Always trying to find out the dotted eighth. That's the need. And finding the right gear to cover that need took years and incredible amounts of money, and also showed me what I don't want and certainly don't need, including heaps of batteries that always fart out when you're live on stage. Various heavy wall warts, also called AC adapters. Countless patch cables, of which always one is somehow not working. And everything that has a display on it. I'm not a big fan of menus live on stage. Well, it's a pity that I'm no longer playing live on stage, because I found something that covers all my needs. And it's called the Carl Martin Quattro. Yeah, that's it. This is some sort of completely analog metal casing multi-FX for guitarists. Actually, it's not that big and not that heavy, but it looks pretty solid and feels close to indestructible. It features an input, which is not that big a surprise. After that input, there is a compressor featuring compression and level. Right after that compressor is the drive section, and it says Overdrives, plural, meaning nothing but there's one drive in there with two gain settings that you can choose between. And therefore we have 4 dials: level, tone, drive 1, drive 2. Right after that drive section there is an FX loop, send and return. The manual indicates here you can hook up your favorite distortion box or whatever that is not built into the Quattro. More on this later. After that we find that chorus, tune-up setup, and my tap delay, an echo, tap tempo and on-off. 3 knobs indicating echo, the volume of that echo, and the tone. Then we have 2 outputs, left and right, stereo, we're gonna check. And my favorite feature, a cable. No wall wart here, just a cable. Hooray. Well, we are talking Carl Martin here, and I guess some of you have already encountered one of their pedals. Pretty high standard, good switches, and I think it's impossible to find dials that turn any smoother than these. So very high quality, at least to my little fingers. More on features? No, actually I'm gonna just hook it up and we're gonna listen to it. Maybe you want to know what you're going to listen to. I'm playing a Höfner very thin semi-acoustic guitar through a Mesa Boogie Subway Blues that is set clean. Into the next room there is a speaker cabinet with a Jensen C12Q, an AKG C1000S as a microphone, for the very specific reason that I like it. After that into a microphone preamp. From that preamp into a multi-effect that is only used for reverb and pretty much invisible from here. And then into the computer. So that's the signal chain for this part of the video. And now music. Here we are, Höfner very thin and everything clean, as I already mentioned. Here is how it sounds. So much for clean. Bright as possible. Everything on 12 is already very strong. Quack. Nicely squashing chords. Oh, nice. Very musical, and I don't think I hear anywhere. Stronger. Mr. Gilmore, do you hear this? Also very effective on bridge pickups. But this is pretty much the same level for everything that I play. Or I'm not into this heavy compression. Less. This will be my on all the time setting. Neck pickup. Slightly bringing everything in front. Yep, very nice. Not that much of compression and still emphasizing the attack. As I said, this is one overdrive. This is on, meaning drive 1 is engaged, tone level. Neck. Well, let's just back off a bit. Initial setting. Bridge. Very full, very dense. Tone. Hui. Drive select. More or less. Both set to middle. So I guess drive 2 is a bit more. Let's just check how much overdrive we can get. Ooh, that noise is my monitor. This is nasty treble high gain. And this is mellow. Yeah, very mellow. And everything in between. Nice and three-dimensional. Depth and less speed, please. Full speed, less depth. hiss, no noise, no rumble. Nicely spreading the signal. We are still talking mono here, by the way. It's not while my guitar gently weeps or more extreme settings. It's just, well, adding a bit, huh? And adding is leading to the next thing, the echo. Well, this is the volume, this is the number of repeats, and this is the tone of the repeats. This is echo on off, and this is the tempo tab thing, and this is where putting up a pedal like this really backfires. Okay, I'm the lucky guy. Usable already. Quite a number of repeats. Let's check. Close to fully. Okay, there's a lot of repeats. The tone. The more you turn it down, the more muffled your repeats get. And this way they stay up, I guess. Well, that's a delay. It might come as a surprise to you, but Carl Martin actually allows you to use more than just one sound at a time. Ooh, now here comes the noodling. High gain lead. Sloppy noodling on the neck pickup. One thing I have to point out, there's only one level for those two drives, but it works surprisingly well. No things like, oh, too much gain on the one and too little on the other, so I have big jumps in output. No, works almost seamlessly. And so on and so on. This was the noodling, and now we're going to check another feature that I pointed out in the beginning, the FX loop. It says send and return for your favorite stump box, but it might also be usable for everything that is some sort of amp, an emulation, a speaker cabinet, amp and ISO cap, whatever, because it's input, compression, overdrive, so everything that is supposed to be in front of your amp, send out to your amp, speaker cabinet, return, and then a chorus, and then a vintage echo. Good idea, but unfortunately doesn't work. The return only accepts pedal level, so everything that is line level, as you might get out of your line out of your amp, or any microphone preamp, is just too much for it. It just goes, which directly leads me to likes and dislikes. Well, actually, I like the whole package. The plug, the metal casing, all the sounds that I can get out of this. And maybe I'm biased because it does everything that I like to have in my guitar signal. If I was still playing live, I'd run off and buy one of these. Dislikes, it's actually possible to barely touch the switches and the LEDs light up without any switching. This can be distracting at times. But I guess the whole concept could be improved a little bit. So Carl Martin, if you hear this, maybe you do a pro version of this one. As I mentioned, maybe the return should get a switch from instrument to line level. So it would open up a whole set of possibilities. The stereo, the LR outs should be stereo and not dual mono, as they are to my ears. The tempo switch could use an LED also for bip, 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 giving me a rough idea how fast my delay is when I'm between songs. And as much as I like this plug, I would like to have it detachable with a real 3-pin connector as we have them on any refrigerator. This is what I would do with a Quattro Pro that is non-existent at this time. More of this? No. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. See you.